Hi friends. Okay, part 4 of the one and only Ivan. If you remember, we had just met a new character named Snickers, and now I believe we're going to meet a new character named Nutwit. That's the name of the chapter, Nutwit. Nutwit, the gray squirrel who lives in the live oak in our front lawn, jumps to a lower branch looking at me with barely concealed pity. I hate pity, especially the barely concealed kind. I don't know why you taunt her, he says. You're hardly in a position to talk, Bob. You are Snickers. R was in italics, so I tried to say it with emphasis. Come over here to the window and say that. So you can what? Drool me to death? Are you aware that my best friend is a gorilla? I ask. You would make fantastic ape chow, dude. Nutwit reaches for a dangling acorn and yanks it free. I thought gorillas were vegetarians. Ivan eats termites, I say. He might make an exception for you. Face it, Bob, you're soft. You're one step away from your own pink rain boots. He has a point, says Minnie, one of the family's guinea pigs, from her cage next to the TV. No, he doesn't, says Moo, her cage mate. So the Minnie and Moo are the guinea pigs. Yes, he does, Minnie squeaks. Doesn't, doesn't, Minnie paws. Wait, you tricked me. The guinea pigs rarely agree on anything. Nutwit leaps over to the window ledge, acorn in paw. He presses his tiny twitchy nose to the screen. You couldn't last a day out here, Bob. Some of us have to live by our wiles. Hey, I lived on the street longer than you've been alive. Nutwit nibbles his acorn. He's quite the prissy eater. Whatever you say, Bob. I say, scram. Fine, hint taken. Anyway, storm's en route. I should be stocking up on my nut stash while I can. Nutwit gives me a wise guy look. That's how we do it in the real world. He scampers off with an acrobatic flourish. Squirrels never do a simple jump when a quadruple backflip, cartwheel, is an option. You're full of it, I say to nobody in particular. We're full of it, says Minnie. Yes, we're extremely full of it, says Moo, and they popcorn in agreement. Guinea pigs hop up and down when they're happy. Oh, Joseph, do your guinea pigs ever hop up and down? It's called popcorning. Oh, cute name. And it's totally ridiculous. You're happy? Wag your tail like a real mammal. I am not soft, I mutter, nosing my protruding belly. I leap with effort off the couch. Then I head to the bathroom for a good long drink from the water bowl of power. And boys and girls, soft is like, sensitive, not so tough. That's what soft means when we're referring to it as an adjective for someone's personality and not as an adjective for, meaning the opposite of hard. Next chapter is spoiled. I know Nutwit has a point. I've become a creature of habit, spoiled after a stretch of being my own dog. For a long time, I was Bob the Beast, cunning and streetwise. As a stray, I lived off leftovers at the mall while Snickers dined on her fancy pants kibble. Man, how I loved that cotton candy stuck to the floor. The unexpected UFOs, the ends of ketchup covered hot dogs scattered under the bleachers like, I don't know, big toes or something. Ivan offered to share his gorilla food with me, and Stella and Ruby. Ivan offered to share his gorilla food with me, and Stella and Ruby were always ready to pass along a carrot or an apple, but I refused. I needed to stay in shape, stay tough, stay true to my wild nature. Okay, so maybe every now and then I'd sneak a banana chunk from Ivan's breakfast. But then things change. I became civilized, domesticized, a pet. Domesticated is the word. I said that wrong. Meaning lived in a home. That's what domesticated means. If we're talking about wild animals versus domestic animals, wild animals live outside in the wild, in the forests, and domesticated animals are pets. But then things changed. I became civilized, domesticated, a pet. Don't get me wrong, there are definitely some perks. Julia, who is an artist, painted my name on a food bowl. She gave me this wonderfully mushy blanket, the kind where you can bed boogie forever till it's squished to perfection, and you can curl up just so. I love that blanket, but I simply cannot sleep without Knot Tag, Ivan's raggedy old toy gorilla. Of course, just when I get my blanket and Knot Tag imprinted with the right amount of Ooh Day Bob, Ooh Day is scent of. It's what they use on perfumes. So scent of Bob. Julia's mom does the unthinkable, puts them in the washing machine and removes every last bit of me. There are other indignities I tolerate. The daily walk on a tug-of-war string after going stringless my whole life. The attempts to train me, like that'll ever happen. The kisses and cuddling. Well, the cutting's okay, I suppose. The cuddling's okay, I suppose. But the kissing, I just don't get it. If you want to kiss your dog, why not just give him a big old lick on the face and be done with it? Anyways, so what if I've gotten a little spoiled, a tad soft around the edges? There's a difference between being soft and being afraid, being a coward. Here's the theory. I do something. Oh, I missed a page. Sorry, guys. Next chapter is another confession. Too bad I know the truth. I'm both. So he says there's a difference between being soft and being afraid, and he's both. Next chapter is cricket bully. When Julia returns from walking her charges, I race over, and walking her charges is it means the dogs that she walks because she has a job as a dog walker. I race over and I give her a good old Bob style hello, lots of yipping and twirling, followed by some attempts to jump into her arms. Humans love that stuff. Julia looks at me sternly and says, "Robert, down." I leap some more because I'm determined to convince her I'm incorrigible, untrainable. It's part of my charm, my bobbliness. "Down," she says. From her coat pocket, she pulls out her little metal clicker along with some treats. I hate that clicker. It's meant to help train me, but it's like a cricket bully. Here's the theory. I do something right, Julia clicks, gives me a treat. The click tells me when I'm behaving, and the treat reinforces it. If that happens enough before your very eyes, I'm supposed to transform into a good dog. Well, I ain't that easy. "Down, Bob." Julia tries again. I want a treat, but not enough to cave. So I opt for a play bow, a compromise. Julia sighs. "You are definitely a challenging student." To my annoyance, she puts the treats back in her pocket. I think Julia may be on to me. And we read about play bow when we read about the terms in the beginning. It's when a dog kind of gets themselves in that position, or when Bob gets himself in that position, I should say. I don't know if all dogs do this. And then that's kind of an invitation for someone to come play. The next chapter is trust. A while ago, Julia got it into her head that I needed to improve my manners. We went to a dog training class. I wasn't really into the whole sit and stay and do the tango stuff. The worst command of all, the truly inexcusable. Only a human could have come up with an order. Leave it. Leave it means walk on by, Bob. Sure, there's a piece of bacon just inches from your drooling pie hole, but do me a favor and just pretend it's not there, okay? Not okay. Where I come from, you never pass up a free meal. A UFO drops to the carpet, it's mine. And I'll be chowing it down before you can say, "Where the heck is my meatball?" UFO stands for unidentified flying object. Within minutes, I was accused of being an undermotivated student, which is totally unfair. I'm highly motivated. Just show me some cheese, please. Anyways, I may or may not have been a little unruly. Class clown stuff, tail spinning, a little random peeing, some zoomies just for show. "Class, you see that crazy dashing around he's doing?" said the teacher, pointing at me with an accusing finger. "We call that a FRAP. Frantic, random, activity period." She pulled Julia aside. "He's a smart dog," she said, "but he's messing with you." Which was true, but I hated getting caught in the act. I thought I was more subtle. "Bob needs to know who's boss," said the teacher. "He needs to see you as a pack leader. Give him some time. I see this with a lot of former strays. Takes them a while to trust people." Like forever in my case. As we left the class early, I yelled, "So long, suckers," to my classmates. Couldn't help rubbing it in just a little. Next chapter is called My Car Thing. I suppose the real reason for the training stuff isn't my bad manners, although they leave a bit to be desired. It's my car thing. I've always had a hang up about cars and trucks, also riding lawnmowers, go-karts, anything with four wheels, an engine, and a driver. Don't like them, don't want to ride in them, don't want anything to do with them. Those co-pilot dogs with their heads hanging out the window, flying their drool flags, boneheads. First of all, it ain't safe. And second of all, bad stuff can happen after you climb into a car. Take it from me. When Julia and George and Sarah realized I have transportation issues, they tried to lure me into the back seat of their car with treats. But you'd be surprised how stubborn I can be. I yelped so loud, the neighbors came running out to see what was happening to the poor little doggie. Score one for the poor little doggie. Click. That's when they started clicker training me. Click, here's a treat. Come closer to the car, Bob. Click, here's a treat. Watch while I open the car door, Bob. Click, here's a treat. Come right up to the seat, Bob. Click, here's a treat. Come on in, Bob. 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 Where are you, Bob? Yeah, it was like that a lot. The next chapter is called Options. Still haven't been in the car or a truck or a tractor for that matter. When I have to go to the rhymes with pet threat, I guess that's a vet, Julia and her parents walk me there. They say elephants have long memories. Well, so do dogs, people. It's not like I'm afraid. I'm just exercising my options. All right, friends, we're going to stop there for today. The next chapter is called Full Wag, and we will be picking up on page 67. And it is 300 some odd pages. So we're a little bit of the way through. Here, there's where our bookmark is. That's how much we've read, and that's how much we have left. Yay. I like having a lot left. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday, and it's a snow day. We're not expecting snow, but every year they put 3 snow days into our calendar. We didn't have any snow this year. We got 2 snow days back right before remote learning began in March. And a lot of times when we don't use snow days, we get them back right around Memorial Day, which gives us a longer weekend. So there is no school tomorrow due to a snow day, and there is no school Monday because of Memorial Day. So you guys have a 4-day weekend. And I hope you did the social studies assignment yesterday, which was to read a PowerPoint about Memorial Day and watch a video from YouTube. Memorial Day is wildly known as the unofficial start to summer, even though summer doesn't really start until later in June. And people often celebrate with cookouts and barbecues and patriotic colors and patriotic songs. So perhaps this Memorial Day might be different because we have to be careful. We can't gather just so that everybody stays healthy and safe. However, what doesn't change is the meaning of Memorial Day. And I hope you all take just a little quick moment at some point during this 4-day weekend for us to just be thankful to live in a country where we have the freedoms that we have, which we've talked about, right? We can say what we want to say and pray where we want to pray. And many other people in many other countries don't have those freedoms or those rights, which is why many people come to live here in our great country. But one of the main reasons we have all of those things, besides our founding fathers who created that for us, are our brave men and women who served in the armed services, the 5 branches that we've talked about of the military. So for that, we are surely thankful. And on Memorial Day, we think about and we honor those who have not made it through their service. So thank goodness for our country and our freedoms. And I wish you all a very, very happy Memorial Day weekend. And I'm going to take some time to be thankful, and I'm sure that you will too. I will miss you over the 4-day weekend, and I will see you all back here on Tuesday.